Alright guys, so how's it going today? Well, sun. Lots of sun. We're talking lots of sun for the next like 4 or 5 days. I don't see a damn cloud in sight. I'm still getting over my sickness too. Look, sun. I haven't seen that in a while. It's supposed to get up to 80 today. That thing's never right. Stupid thing, but whatever. So anyways, if you hear some crowing going on, neighbors here, they got chickens and roosters and some ducks and stuff, so you might hear them hollering in the background. That just reminds me to have dinner, I guess. But yeah, so anyways, we got well, this stupid bastard back in the shop again. This is that belt pulley housing for the Farm All A. I just got done putting the new this and then the 540 shaft too. It all got new seals put in it to stop the oil from pissing out. But when I put it all back together, we had a leak going on here, and it wasn't the gasket or the cap. I just call that the cap, whatever. And it's not the oil seal. That's actually doing its job. Plus, I think there's two in here. I think you got to put two in here if you have the original one, which is that's original. I guess that's your double seal, but they don't make them that way anymore, so you have to put in two of the smaller ones, and that's supposed to, I guess, make the same thing as that, which it does, obviously, unless you have extremely thin oil in it, but it's just whatever. So anyways, I think my leak is coming from here. Whoa. Now this is your bearing and your bearing holder. That all goes in there. And then here's your shaft. So that's just sitting in there because it wants to. So you have to pound. So you have these metal shims. There's supposed to be 3 of them, which there is. But somewhere in the book, I guess I don't have my book with me here now, which I had it here the other day. So I'm trying to remember what was what now, of course. But anyways, I don't know. I don't think these shims are bad. I mean, they're a little dirty, which I've cleaned them up plenty of times, and they're only going to get so clean. Of course, these do have to go on a certain way because they have, they got a little hole in them, and that's that little hole right there at the top, right below my finger there. That's basically your oil bypass, because oil, I guess, comes out, and I guess maybe oil is this bearing, and then just goes from wherever from there, and maybe back into here again, and it just recirculates, I guess. I don't really know, but maybe. So anyways, I think it was leaking from here, because when you were watching it leak, now it was probably about maybe one drip per day, kind of a thing. So my theory is it was coming from here, which would be here. It's not coming from here, from the cap, because you do have a gasket there, and that's I can't remember now if that was I think that's a brand new gasket. I can't remember now, but yeah, that's a brand new one, because I think this is the old one. It used to go there, but whatever. You can see I don't use that gasket anymore. That's your 540 PTO seal, oil seal. I had to destroy that to even get it out. That's for your belt pulley. And then what I just showed you went there. So that's all the parts I've replaced in it so far. Now, like I said, it was leaking from here. And in the book, it shows that you're supposed to have these 3 shims, but no gasket, which was kind of interesting because you think there should be a gasket here. So, but there's not. It just calls for these 3 shims, and each one, well, there's a light, a medium, and then a heavy. Of course, you can't frickin' tell which is what because there's no part number stamped into them. I mean, maybe you can tell it by shaking it. That's pretty solid. So I'm guessing that's probably your heavy. That one moves more. So that could be your medium. Or actually, this could be your medium. This feels a little stiffer. But I don't know. I don't think it matters how they go on in order. You're never going to know which is correct. Even if these had to go on a certain way, like light, medium, and heavy, you're never going to know because there's no freaking part numbers on that. So the problem is, and this is where I need that guy's help because apparently I can't remember now for the life of me, and my book doesn't cover that, so I don't know if I'm overthinking this or what. Okay, well, you need 3 shims. I got 3 shims. I actually have new ones coming, but they're not new, but they're newer. And I don't know if I'm going to get all 3 or not. He refunded me $5, so I don't know. I can't figure it out for the life of me, but all 3 have a tracking number, so I guess I'm getting them. But he refunded me $5, so he must have overcharged me, I guess. I don't know. So I do have new shims coming. So I might replace these anyway and just keep these as spares, but I found this in there, and I don't remember this being in here. Now this is would be, I guess, like another shim, but it's really heavy. It's really thick. It's like probably 5 of these put together. It's crazy. Like you can't bend that. It's almost like a spacer. So when I first opened this back up again, I don't know why I don't remember this, but I don't remember this. I don't know if this shim, this heavy shim, this is like an extreme duty shim. I don't know. That was in here. Now, I don't think that's supposed to be in there. I don't remember, so I don't know if the other guy, if you've ever worked on this on your tractor or not, or if you even have this on your tractor. I don't remember. But see, I guess the thing I'm running into is if you have this extreme heavy shim, and then you have 3, standard shims, let's say, that makes it 4 shims, when in the book it only calls for 3. Okay, so, but obviously this goes here because it has the oil bypass hole, just like all these other shims do. So I don't remember if this is supposed to be in here or if this is supposed to go somewhere else, like maybe in the cap. But yet the cap doesn't say anything about having this heavy shim. Or just extreme heavy, I don't know. It's way thicker than those shims here. But I don't remember where the hell that's supposed to go, because I don't know if this is where my leak is coming from. Is because this heavy shim is not supposed to be where, it's not supposed to be here. My only other theory is that if it can't go here, because obviously this is where it's leaking. And no, I did not have the these things on the wrong way. Like they really only go on one way because they have the oil. They have that oil bypass hole there or whatever. So they really can only go on one way. So basically like that. That's the only way they can go on. Pretty much. So I guess you have to fix it, of course, to make it fit better. But see, this thing has it too. But I don't understand where the hell it goes, because I don't know if this is what's causing my leak or not. Because that would be too many shims then. To have 4 instead of 3. So I was thinking maybe this goes here, goes in the cap, but yet the cap doesn't say anything about having a shim in there. It's just supposed to be your gasket. See, and then there's your oil bypass hole. That lets oil, I guess, bypass and oil, I guess, the bearings or whatever they oil. Wherever the oil goes. So, but other than that, this is the only thing. This is what's just pretty much screwing me up here, because this is all that's leaking pretty much now on the tractor. And I would like to be done for the year, because next year, well, I got other things I got to do to the A too, but I also got to probably start working on the big tractor too. So. So I don't know. I guess if you happen to watch my video, let me know. Let me know if I did something wrong here, or if I'm like, maybe this is supposed to be here. I don't know, but it's leaking here though, because obviously it would leak either out of here, which it's not, and it really shouldn't, because the gasket is perfectly fine. It's not cracked, not broken, it's not overly crushed. It's not the brand new oil seals, because that's how I found the leaks in the first place, obviously. And when I put the new seals in for both shafts, that stopped. So now it's leaking out of here. So, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out why the hell it's leaking, because these shims look perfect. I mean, they're not, I don't know, they're not perfect, but they're not cracked, they don't have any, like, dents in them or anything to let oil bypass it. I mean, there's like a little something there, but maybe that's just like a little could just be like a little cut maybe, but it's not deep. Of course, here it's got a little nick in the hole, but that's not, I don't think that would cause a leak. I mean, they should still, and they're not going to be perfectly flat, you know. On the camera it looks, I mean, I don't know, they look all right. So, and then you have your paper thin one, which this one can take more of a beating, because now we're getting into thinner material. But still, I'm not seeing anything. They're not broken, obviously, because if they were broken, well then, yeah, that would be your leak. But, you know, they're obviously not perfectly, you know, flat and smooth and perfect, but you would think tightening them down, once you tightened all this down, that should pretty much flatten out, and then you'd be fine. But I'm just looking here. This seal actually looks like it's wetter than the rest. So maybe the oil's bypassing this one, but I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't see anything abnormal about it. I mean, there obviously is age here. I imagine they're probably original, but I just don't know. Again, it's not going to be. It's probably hard to see on camera. I don't know how. I mean, they're not perfectly flat, smooth like they probably would be if they were new. I mean, you can see that end there's kind of up a little higher, but that shouldn't hurt it. There's nothing wrong with the cap or the bearing holder or whatever you want to call it. So I don't understand. It's got to be something here is wonky, and I don't know if it's because it's over shimmed. Like those three should be there, but then this is that really heavy guy, which actually, you can't even bend it. That's how. I mean, I don't know because there's no part numbers on here, so you can't really. I can't tell what is what. To me, this would make sense if this was the heavy shim, because they have a medium, a light, a medium, and then a heavy. This would almost feel like it would be a heavy. Okay. But then again, this feels like a heavy too, but it's thinner than that guy. So let's just say that's your medium. Okay, now you got a paper thin one. Paper thin, see how it bends when you do that? And then you have another one. And it bends it even more. See, I think it's even more floppier than this one. But then yet, they almost could be the same too, but that just makes no sense to me. So if this is your heavy, and then you have, let's say, a medium, okay, whatever, a medium. Put that on there. And then you got a light, which actually that might be medium. Again, I don't think it matters exactly what order those go in. In the book, obviously, it would be in order, but I think in reality, it probably would not matter, but the only problem is that's your three shims. But what is this? I don't know if this is what's causing my leak. Because that would feel... That's like, like an extreme duty, but that could be your heavy duty shim too. I don't know. Maybe it's over shimmed. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember. I don't remember now. In the book, it shows 3 shims. Okay, here's your 3 shims. What do I do with this freaking 4th guy now? Because I don't know where the hell he's supposed to even be going. It's obviously supposed to go here, and it was in here. I don't know where the hell. I mean, it's not like I'd be able to, pull it from somewhere and say, "Here you go." Right? It's just it was already here in that. So I guess I'm just kind of confused at this point. I don't know if. I mean, the only thing I can do. Which, I mean, it'd be a waste of time, but in all reality, we could just do it anyway. If I get those 3 new shims coming, there's supposed to be 1 brand new one, but it's old stock. And then I have 2 used ones coming, all from the same guy. Cross-match these shims. And then, if those shims feel the same as these shims, just maybe replace the shims and then not put this guy in. This is your extreme duty. That's what I'm calling it, because it feels, it's pretty damn heavy. It's pretty damn thick too. you would almost think that maybe you'd put a shim here. But I'm pretty damn sure that the book never said anything about putting a shim there. It's supposed to just be a gasket. So maybe you can point me out here in the right direction, because if not, then I'm just going to have to tinker around with it, I guess, and just delete a shim, which would probably be this heavy guy, because you got 3 shims here already. Shouldn't need any more than that. All I can do, put it back together, crank it all back down, put it back together, like you normally, like you're going to go put it back on the tractor, and then fill it with some used engine oil. That's all I have. I don't have any more 80-90 oil. Engine oil works just fine. It is, I think, a thinner oil, so it actually does bypass the seal, which, whatever, it's fine for that. I don't really care if it bypasses, as long as it doesn't interfere with this too much, then it shouldn't really, it really shouldn't bother me. But just for a quick point, I guess, if you knew, did I do something wrong here, or is this correct? Is there really supposed to be 4 shims instead of 3? I don't know. But this fucking thing needs to be put back on the tractor in another couple of weeks, and I need to be freaking done, because I just want to be done. I'm sick and tired. I've been working on this tractor for literally probably a month straight. I never really get a day off, because I've been tracing this leak. Now, I was also thinking about if these are all supposed to be here together, like if you say, yep, that's all supposed to be there, that sounds about right, then the only thing I can do, if replacing these shims doesn't fix my problem, I'm just going to JB weld the fucking thing. I'm just going to JB weld it. Now, I did do that before. There's evidence of it left over. The problem is I was doing it on the tractor, and this had oil in it. So unfortunately, the weight of the oil and then gravity, it was actually blowing out the JB weld before it would actually harden. So that's another reason as to why it was in the shop, because I had to get the oil out of it. And I think another thing too is that it was getting pretty cool out at night, and it wasn't, the JB weld just wasn't carrying. There's actually still a little bit of JB weld there yet too, because I was just going to JB weld it back together and then just be done with it, but I shouldn't have to do that. So I don't know, but if we put the new shims in it and we delete this guy, or put it back, well, I don't know, if I think we should delete it for now, oil test it, and then if it starts to leak more or worse, then we know that this is needed. Then either, I don't think it matters what order these go in. I don't think that would matter too much, but if we can't figure it out with this son of a bitch setup plus my new ones that are coming, I'm just going to put it back together, and then I think it was actually, yeah, I'm just going to put JB weld back on it, and I'll just pretty much just go from, I think, I guess from right here, and I'm just going to go all the way around to about here-ish, and that'll encase that, and then and I'm going to actually put this in the house, because I don't think it's getting warm enough out. It's going to be pretty warm the next few days. So we're actually going to get back up to the 80s now, but for the nighttime temperatures, I don't know what that's going to be, because I don't really care about that, because I'm not out at night much. So, but hopefully, if you can point me out here, tell me what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing anything wrong. If this is correct, which I don't know why, because in the book it only shows 3. Well, here's 3 right here. Where the hell does this big monster go? You know, like it must have been here originally, but I don't know. But then it started leaking. So, because originally it was just the seals that were leaking, tore all that apart, and put the new seals in. Okay, that stopped, but then this started leaking. So I don't know if the shims are damaged in such a stupid way and I can't see it, or what. I don't know. I'm not a old school tractor professional, because if I did I wouldn't be making a stupid video then, but something's wonky here and I can't figure it out, because it should not be leaking here. It's obviously bypassing these shims and then leaking out. But since there's no part number on them, I can't really figure out what is what. So, but I don't know. Because this really should have just came from here, because I only worked at one of these at a time. So I didn't have both of these in the shop, you know, this and then the 540 shaft. I had the 540 in first, put the new seals in, and then I actually mounted that back on the tractor. And then when I was done with that, then I brought this into the shop. So all this is from here, but I don't know if what is going on here that this son of a bitch keeps freaking leaking. So it's either because it's got too many shims on it, but it looks like they're supposed to be there. But yet, you know, I don't know. I can't make any damn sense of that, you know. So I guess if you have any ideas, I guess let me know. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this could just be like yeah, it's a shim, but maybe it's a shim to just make sure that these truly are getting squished down properly. I mean, that's a possibility too, but it's clearly, that's where my leak is coming from. It's coming from these damn shims. And that one's got the most amount of oil on it. Of course, I don't think I cleaned them yet, but I don't know. You tell me, I guess. I'm just getting kind of irritated working on this freaking thing. I just want to be done. So, I'll leave that off for now. But yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be on there or not, because you already have 3 shims. But then you have this massive thick shim, which, I mean, to me, you would think that would go there, but I don't know where I would have gotten an extra shim from that, you know, mistakenly put it in there. So, I don't know. Just trying to figure it out. The only thing I can think of is if this shim's not supposed to be here, maybe it's supposed to go here, but I don't remember there ever being a shim there either. You know, I think it's supposed to just be the gasket. So, and it doesn't leak there. It's never leaked out of here. So what I can kind of tell, it's just dirty, but oh, got a bee in here. Somebody's dying. Yep. So I don't know. You tell me. Maybe if you know that guy that I'm talking about, you have a Farm All A too, because I don't know if your tractor has this on it. I would think it does. I don't remember now. I would have to go back on your videos and look, but you never did a video on repairing these, you know, so I don't know, but That's the one thing you missed out, man. When you did your videos of restoring your A's, you didn't show the PTO, and you didn't show this if you had one, and if you rebuilt that too. I imagine your tractor was probably pretty wore out too when you had it, or when you first got it. So I imagine you did all this yourself, but there's no videos on this stuff, you know, and it's hard to see what was actually done because there's no damn videos. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So yeah, got a bee in here. Get the hell out of here. So yeah, I don't know. You tell me. I'm gonna take off. Workbench is a freaking disaster. I gotta clean it off again. But yeah, I never get to clean it off because I'm always freaking working on something, you know. And it just happens to be this stupid thing. Can't put it on the tractor and just expect it to work. Something's always gotta go freaking wonky. Looks like my inner bearing's alright. But yeah. I don't know. You tell me. If it looks right, well then it's right. But I don't know what the hell. Those other shims will probably be here tomorrow. So I'll kind of just, I guess, wait for your feedback. But I won't know exactly what those other shims look like until they're here. If I get all three, it sounds like I'm going to, but he didn't explain to me why he was refunding me $5 back. So doesn't say why. So I guess something must have went wrong on his end. He probably overcharged me for something, I guess. I don't know, but when I get those shims here, I'll be able to compare it either to these or to this big guy. I don't know. Because if I get one of these big guys, then this shim would be correct, but then something here is wonky. I have 3 super thin ones and then 1 monster thick one, so I don't know. But technically this would be 4 shims, not 3. That's 4. So the book only says 3. Doesn't say anything about a 4th one. So I don't know. Something's wonky somewhere, I guess. I don't know, but I'm learning. But it just, you know, you got to learn from other people too. You got to have people that actually know what the hell they're doing, that have actually worked on these tractors. So, but yeah, this is all new territory to me. So, but I have to keep tearing the bitch apart, and I'm tired of tearing it apart. I'd rather just put the thing together and walk away. But for some reason, this is not letting me walk away. It's leaking. So, the only thing I could probably do, and I guess if you recommend it, I think I still have 2 more of these shims, or shims my ass, gaskets, because, well, I ordered my parts through Steiner, and I needed to order more of the gaskets for the PTO housing, for the 540 PTO housing, because I broke the first one, and then we broke the second one, but I had ordered like 2 or 3 more of these stupid things because I knew something was going to happen and I was going to wreck them. But it shows, well, you can only get them in a kit. You can't buy just a single gasket. So I think in the kit it comes with these too, and these are, well, they're fairly thick, but it's a gasket. It's not a shim. So the other thing I was thinking, if you think this is okay, maybe either delete these or delete this, and if I need to, maybe just put a gasket in here and just pray that, because there's no reason for this to leak. If you put a freaking gasket in there, that should not leak then. Something with these, there's something wonky with these shims, and it's allowing a drip to happen. But it doesn't show, again, it doesn't show in the book that you're supposed to put a gasket here. It's just shims. But these are what's becoming a pain in my ass. So either I delete this shim, or delete these shims, and then just put a gasket here. Maybe that would fix my problem. Like, I have that option because I have extra gaskets, and I believe they would fit here too. So, because this is all the same, it all just gets kind of sandwiched together. You got your bearing holder, you shove that in, and then you put your gasket on, and then you put your cap on. So, I mean, I don't know if that would work either, you know, but I don't see why not. Because at least a gasket, you can crush it, and it would actually, you know, it technically should seal better. It should be more tight. But this, I don't know what the shims do if they align things perfectly to where it, you know, there's no, like, slop in anything. It keeps everything firmly tight. But come on. If you leave that heavy shim in, put a gasket in there, I don't know why that couldn't hold it in place. I don't know. You tell me. You're more of an expert than me. I'm just some guy that's learning how to fix these freaking old things. So, but I don't know. Next year I got a leaky wheel seal, I think, on the front end. So I gotta pull that front tire off and replace the. I think it's just the seals. They're bad. The oil's leaking out of it, or the grease. Or it could be the grease is going bad too, and it's turning into water, and it's leaking, it's bypassing. I don't know. But it probably needs new wheel bearing grease, and nobody around here sells wheel bearing grease for some reason. So, because you have to use special grease, you can't just use regular general purpose grease. So what I've been doing on the 1586 is just using general purpose grease, but that actually might be biting me back in the ass now, because it's leaking. So, yeah, but that's some other time. So, but yeah, you tell me if I'm doing something wrong here, or if you see this is correct. Should I guess again, depending on what the other shims look like, maybe I should put the other shims in, and then just keep these obviously as spares. I'm not going to throw them away because I don't think there's anything wrong with them personally. But if I put the new shims in and we still have that freaking leak, well, first of all, I'm going to be very, very angry. And then I'm just going to say the freaking hell of it, and I'm just going to put tons of goddamn JB Welder right along this son of a bitch, and then bring it in the house, let it cure for 2 days, and that should fix it. That should stop the leak then, because I think it's only leaking. I guess it would have to be down here, because this is where, yeah, right here. This is where it's leaking, because there's your oil bypass hole. So it's, I don't. There is a little nick right here. I don't know if that's my problem. I'll point that out. There's a nick. I can catch it with my fingernail, but it ain't horrible. Let me see. I don't think the camera will focus on it, but you can see it. It doesn't want to focus on it. I can't get it to exactly focus on that. But right there, you can see that nick. Unless it's leaking from there. What do you think? I don't know. I don't think I can sand that down. Can I? What do I do with my sandpaper? Sandpaper. I don't think this is going to work. Well, it did kind of clean it up. It's kind of interesting, I guess. Well, it did smooth it out, but it didn't. But I don't think that would have caused the leak. You're probably sitting there in the comment section, yeah, that's your fucking leak, asshole, you stupid retard. But there's no way to fix that. I mean, you'd have to probably sand the living piss out of it. You got another little one here too, but that probably wouldn't do nothing. I can still kind of catch my nail on it, but it ain't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you could. You can still catch it, but I don't know. You tell me. I guess if maybe that's my problem. I don't know how you would ever. I mean, that must have just been done from like a screwdriver or something, but I don't think that would have caused the leak. So, I guess you tell me. You're probably going to sit there in the comment sections and be like, yep, that's probably your problem, you stupid moron. But there's no way to fix that. The only thing I could think of doing is clean it out, clean the cut out, and then just like throw some JB Weld in it, and then obviously shove it in there, and then let it harden for a couple days, and then actually come in and sand that back off. Because the JB Weld would still be in the cut. It just wouldn't be on the metal anymore. So, and just be a thin layer anyway. You don't have to glob it on like it's going out of style. Just a thin layer would probably do it. But you tell me. You're the tractor expert over here. I'm not. I'm just some freaking guy learning, and some guy that's getting irritated looking at the stupid thing on my workbench. It should be on the tractor. Not that we'll ever actually use this probably, but it's there, so I'll have to keep it there. I could delete that, but I would have to find a cover to put in this thing's place. And chances of finding a cover are probably pretty slim. And plus, I kind of want this anyway, because you know what? If I ever decide I want to farm old school, you know, like the great-grandparents did, well then all I gotta do is find a pulley that'll fit that shaft, and then good enough. Which you probably could find thousands of them. Just gotta figure out the diameter of that shaft and order a pulley in that size, and then there you damn go. You're freaking good enough. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take off, guys. You, if you happen to watch this video, I don't remember your name, like your real name, but if you happen to watch my video, maybe I'll tell you to pop by when you got some free time. And I guess just look at my hot mess here and tell me what you think I did wrong, because we are leaking out of here somewhere. And it either could be because of that cut, which isn't that deep to begin with, or I think it's because we got too many shims. But I don't know what's going on here. Because you got, these are your 3 shims, and then you have this big monster shim. But it wasn't leaking before I tore it all apart, so something obviously went wrong. It was just leaking out of the seals, which obviously that's been long since fixed, but now we're leaking out of here. It's irritating. So yeah, anyways guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.